Okay, so I pay attention to some of the stuff going on with the politics and stuff because it shows like how much closer that we're getting. And supposedly July, don't forget, is the deadline. They have to, and it wasn't just from one person. I've heard this from a couple different sources. So we'll see. I mean, we've heard so many things along the way. It's just like, well, I don't know, you just got to go with the flow. But the if July is that they have to disclose, because that's the crazy thing is they're holding back such information like about the solar flash, which is super important. Like there's a lot of important stuff people need to know, and they're holding that information back. And yesterday when I was talking, about to my mom, she's been super busy doing something like, because she's going to those meetings because she's trying to split the state. Or she's involved with this huge group that manifested itself during at the beginning of the year, when people knew who really was voted in and who wasn't. People started forming groups. They're all over. Well, a lot of them get found on Facebook, but I don't know how many continue or they just get taken down, because I've seen a bunch about Washington State and getting rid of Inslee and all that stuff. But I'm not on Facebook. I have it so I can go on Marketplace. You can't go, even because I had Facebook a long time ago, and then someone hacked my account, went in, stole my whole account. We're going into my contacts, asking for money from these people. I had people texting me like, what's wrong? Why you need money? Why are you coming at me like this? I was like, it's not me. My account was taken. I have no idea. Don't talk to the people, because anybody who talked to them, their account got hacked. Because that's how mine got hacked. Somebody had sent me one of those messages, and I answered them like, I don't even know you, dude. Why do you want money from me? And it got hacked. So I tried to talk to Facebook, and they're just like, well, sorry, it's not my problem. And tried to explain to them. They didn't give a fuck. So I was like, fuck's Facebook. They don't give a fuck. And that was before all the censorship shit. Yeah, they're just dicks. And I had already been with somebody before that who was a complete paranoid, would not go on any social media. And like 10 or 15 years ago, everybody was going on it. And he's like, no, they're getting your information. They're all the stuff that was really real. He sounded like a nut, but he was right. So anyways, I have a lot more awareness about social media than I did then. But I was trying to buy something, and Marketplace wouldn't let me on. And then they started telling me I had to make friends on Facebook in order to have Marketplace. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't want anything to do with your stupid social media platform. It's bullshit. But anyway, so I got Marketplace. But if you go on there, you see like the top posts, and there's a lot of stuff like about Inslee, because you have to go through Facebook. Like it opens on Facebook, and you have to push onto Marketplace. Anyways, that's a long story about a bunch of nothing. And but they're not giving people information that is super important. They're holding so much information back. It's so, I do believe there has to be some deadline. And I was just watching, I haven't seen hardly anything. So I only see like a couple minutes. I don't have a lot of time. So go in and see a couple minutes, like anything interesting happening. And I got to go in and watch a couple minutes of Trump's thing. And for the rallies to be starting back, I say it's just so people can see, like, who really is liked, who really has support. And, it's got to be something that flips in people's heads to start seeing, like, this other person has no support. Like, I just was watching, David Rodriguez was talking to 107, and yesterday, I heard him for a couple minutes too. He pops up a lot on my stuff. And, but I don't have time to listen to the whole thing, so I'll listen to a couple minutes. And he said that Kamala was coming to, he lives at the border, and he's always talking about how horrible the border is right now, which is super sad. I just did not think all that stuff that T-Rump did was going to be turned around like this, like cleaning up all that human and organ and all that kind of stuff, the people who are marketing that, and then to just have it just blow right back up into, I was like, oh my God, the wrong person in office just, they just have their way with us, man. It's crazy. But anyways, so he was saying that when she showed up, he was like, oh, there's going to probably be supporters out there. He was all pissed off. And so this morning when he was just, I don't know when this interview was, but he was said that Kamala had come. And there was just protesters. Nobody was out there cheering her. People were out there yelling at her and stuff like that. So that is a good sign. I mean, that shows you people are waking up. They're understanding something is going on. They may not fully understand what's going on, but they're like, this is bullshit. So, that's a positive. And, I know the rallies are just to get, it's to build that. I see it more of a revival. Get the emotions, the energy going, people excited and hopeful for the future. We saw what he did before. And, all we need is people who have our best interest in mind. And, most of the politicians that we have, I've said it before, I think I've heard 98% of them are criminal. But they all lost their jobs anyways when the Corporation of America ended. That ended in a republic. So, they're just pretending. It's so nutty when you just go to how they're pretending all this stuff, but they are making it like it's real, but it's all just like them pretending. And some people just buy it. Some people are just pissed off about it. I try and not get too pissed, but I get pissed. They said something this morning. Oh, what pissed me off is the fucking commercials. Oh my God, I swear to God, I cuss so much at the commercials. They come on and start telling me, oh, I mean, got doctor after doctor. Oh, and who fucking knows who this person is? Really? I didn't go to school with them. I didn't see them graduate. I don't know they're a doctor. Don't tell me. The whole thing on TV is meant to entertain, program, and lie to us. So don't believe the bullshit. Oh, this doctor says this doctor says that. Oh, really? Well, did you just go down to the dollar store and find this person and pay them a check so that they'll come out and say whatever the fuck you want? Because I'm not buying it. These things aren't even called what they're called. They're using words. They're manipulating our language, our words, our communication with each other. I mean, right now there's such a language barrier between people. It's so crazy. The people asleep and the people awake, it's completely like you say one sentence, it's completely, totally different meanings depending on who you are and how you're perceiving the world. And it's all manipulation. So I'm super excited about, it was kind of a bummer, he's like, oh, well, we're preparing for 2022 or whatever. Okay, we know that's not true. Well, most of us know that's not true. We already know who won. We're just waiting for this, the fall of the cabal. That's what we're waiting for. And who knew how, really? Man, when I heard about the Illuminati, gosh, whatever, 10 years ago, never, ever. I mean, like, as soon as you hear about them, you hear about, like, Jay-Z and Beyonce. I mean, that's, like, chapter 1 or something. But so you knew, like, they had powerful people in position. But then once you start seeing, okay, Lady Gaga and her involvement in politics and stuff, you just have to start seeing how much it's meshed together, how much they use pretty women as handlers, how much they use fronts, Disney, Victoria's Secrets, they use these things to draw in certain groups of people so that they can use those people, use their families. It's so, it's just so crazy how it was really set up and how it was really run, you know. And all of us who were just so caught up in our little lives, we weren't paying any attention to what was going on. And there was like lots of bad stuff going on. But, you know, I like to see, because it kind of gives you kind of a view of how we're progressing towards, because the main thing that's going on here has nothing to do with these or politics, any of this stuff. It all has to do with the spiritual awakening. It has to do with consciousness realizing itself, and to question who is in charge and why they're forced to do the things they don't want to do. It's all about freedom. And you know, one thing that has been so crazy, I tried to get a video of it the other day, but then once I was going to videotape it, of course it stopped. But there was when we were at the lake, there was a big old eagle. It kept flying over us, flying over us. And I was like, oh my God, it's so cool. It's so symbolic of freedom. And now every time we go out, in the strangest places. Yesterday we're driving down the Mount Baker Highway. It's just a rural highway that's long. But it's one of those busier kind of ones because it goes to the ski lift, which in the summertime is still, everybody goes out hiking and stuff. Like, you can't even get up there in the winter. I mean, there probably is the ski lift street, but I quit skiing and stuff when I ripped my shoulder apart. So I don't go up there. But anyway, so the yesterday when we were driving, there was eagles going with us every time we go outside, like outside out here. See an eagle fly over, and and my daughter keeps being around it, and I was like, it's so cool. We keep seeing these eagles. She said something. I said, yeah, but it represents freedom. And I feel, I didn't say this part because, you know, we're in two different worlds right now. But it's so symbolic. Just like I've said about the universe is showing us certain things to question ourselves, to question our own morals. And, you know, for the eagle to be out there in the freedom, just, yeah, I don't know. It makes you just feel so excited. Like, you know, we're really moving towards freedom, you guys. This is like a treacherous road. It's horrible and it's painful. And there's definitely a lot of murder and death and people who are, you know, losing their lives in this battle for freedom for human beings. But it's super exciting too, because we will win. I mean, it's cosmic. We will win, you know, but who knows how bad or dirty these battles have to get. And that's why you have to keep in mind, like, be aware. Like, I'm totally aware now of the manipulation with the weather. I mean, seeing that pretend sun, I don't even know. I don't get how people don't even question, like, how is the sun so close all of a sudden? How is the sun so white? How is it so, like, it tripled in size? Like, it's so weird. But anyways, the fires are definitely coming. And I saw in Texas they're having, like, I don't even know if it's how much of the state they have right now in a drought. Like California, they're not even letting people water stuff. And I've heard even in Washington, oh, don't water. Really, we're turning into a damn desert, but don't water, even though we got fires coming. Oh, but we got a drought. You guys keep in mind, we got the climate control. You guys got to... It's like, oh my God, the manipulation. But so the fires are coming. Definitely. And they're definitely meant to kill a lot of people. And I think there's something about the places where we have Democratic leaders, they have, you know, more of a hold. And we can definitely be, you know, thrown out, you know, easily. You know, they look at the big picture. They don't look at us individually in our lives and stuff. And a leader doesn't really look at their state and their people and really like, oh, you know, I really care about these people. I got to do the best for them. We need our this in this state and this and that. They don't do that. They go to a table and say, okay, how are we going to push this through? What are we going to do? How are we going to fuck them over this time? So when the fires come, like the 540, the Mount Baker Highway, that's our only way out. And they've been building all these houses. And the people, before they even start building, because I got here 2.5 years ago and people were already being concerned. And I got here right when I moved in. It was weird. The whole timing, I've talked about it in other videos. The whole thing with my move was definitely all divine timing. It was crazy. And then as soon as I moved in, my house doubled in price. And everything just started going up. The prices of houses out here now it's crazy. And they're building all these brand new houses and stuff, especially because if you did watch Shameless, I watched it a long time ago, but there was a part that I was just like, this is just so true, because it was in the Chicago inner city, and it was these families who have lived there forever, and there was a lot of poverty, because that's what they do. They get us in communities, and then they destroy those communities. And they made it quite clear in all of the darker skinned communities what they do. And now they're going mainstream. They're just like, whoa, we got to get the white ones too. We can't just kill all the black ones. We got to kill everybody. So they're after us all. There's not any of us that they're like, oh, I kind of like those ones. No, they hate us all. Doesn't matter what color they are. They're probably, in a skin suit that they'd open it up and something else would come out. Because there's definitely technology, alien involvement. There's stuff that's beyond what people can comprehend. And anyways, I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. I do that all the time. See if I can remember for a sec. It drives me crazy. Well, anyways, I'll just jump in because I should probably be ending it anyways. It's like 16:55. But anyways, just keep in mind, no matter what stuff is, how it affects you or whatever, just keep in mind, this is all for your spiritual growth. You got to keep on. My daughter and I talk about this a lot. She's like, I said this before, that the people even people who are brainwashed and asleep, who feel like, you just got to conform. You just got to be a good person. You just got to, which I said all along, they're totally using that part of these people's personality against them. And then my daughter yesterday just right away just said it. I'd been saying it the whole time. And we were going out, and here in Washington State, it's very confusing right now, especially out here rural. When she lived in the city, it was a lot easier to understand the rules, and when she was working and stuff. But anyways, the universe has shoved her out the car and said, you're going a different direction. And she's kind of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so she's kind of here just regrouping, right? And so it's a lot more confusing over here. Like when I went over there, I said that was like, no masks. People weren't wearing them. And then come back over here, and it's still like, I don't know. I really like it. And so that's when she started saying, like, and as far as she's concerned, the people getting these, okay, well, then they can wear them. They don't have to wear them. Well, Jesus Christ, I had the sickness at the very beginning. I got immunity way at the very beginning. So, yeah, I don't need to wear this. And, if there's a new strain, I'd rather get it and get a little bit of it. And then, and that's not what these are about. That's what people need to look up. That's not what they're putting in you at all. They're structurally changing your DNA and RNA to manipulate you. And it has nothing to do with this. It was all a plan to get you to be willing to do this. And the hard push is why. The hard push on the commercials, yesterday we went into town to go to the grocery store. I cannot tell you how many fucking signs are out in front of stores. I told you on the next door thing, it was down at the bar. Hey, you guys, come on down. Get one of these and we'll give you a beer. It's everywhere. Every fucking place you go. Free shop, free. Come on in. Come get them. They're free. Come in, please. Please, come in. It's like, you guys, we're on a time thing. We got to release this and stuff coming up real quick. You got to hurry because we're not going to be able to kill you if you don't hurry. It's like, oh my God, people. Can't you see? If they're pushing this hard, when in the hell have they ever shown they're concerned for your health? They haven't. These things are not for your health. They're for them to kill us. Science experiment on us. They've got so many things going on. People with all parts of their bodies are messing up because of what they're putting in it. And it's, I could say a lot more things, but, I would guarantee that this would be taken down. So I've got to talk in these weird ways, and I don't really like to focus on just that stuff. That stuff is just more of like seeing where is the collective, like, what's going on? How are things moving and progressing? Are we moving fast, or are we still moving slow? And I would say right now, we're still moving slow. But there could be something that happens any day, anytime, that just, and everything goes. So, and the more that these evil ones push against us, the more that can happen. Because when these fires start and we start trying to evacuate, the concerns were so, before they started building these houses, they were like, okay, we got 2 roads to get out of here. One leads up towards Canada. I don't know. We can't go into Canada. It's all foresty. So I don't see that one. If there's forest fires, that they would have to be going towards the city, towards the ocean. And it's one road. So if you are in any of those places, I'll just say, I made sure to fill up my car. I mean, think about those apocalyptic movies when they start having the evacuations and stuff. People don't have gas in their car. They're at the gas stations. People go with their guns, which out here's a lot of guns, start stealing other people's cars because they're desperate. People go crazy when they get desperate. We've been watching this go on. This kind of stuff starts making sense to them. Like they've lost all kind of logic. So, getting your car robbed, getting in those long lines. I don't know if you've ever seen evacuations before, but you can be stuck in lines for hours, not moving. Your gas going. Like when it shows in the movies where all those cars are just stopped all along the way, it is, running out of gas and stuff. And when they have one road, look how easy. I really liked it when I had a Jeep, and I always I could go just drive out in the middle of nowhere off road. I can't do that in a Volvo station wagon. It's low to the ground. That's why I liked it, because still I could climb into it easier. But I love Volvo station wagons anyways. But anyway, so she, if we try and drive out of here, you gotta be prepared, but you gotta, my brother lives in Southern California. He's a fireman, and he lives in Yorba Linda, which they've been evacuated a couple times. And it can be, and plus he does evacuations because he's a fireman. And, you could get an hour where they say, okay, in an hour you have to be out of here. Everything you can grab in 1 hour. But also it can be 15 minutes. It can be quick. It depends on how fast the fire's moving, the winds, and they're controlling all that. So you've got to keep in mind how fast this could go. You could have 10-minute warning. The sirens could just go off. You may not even have a policeman or a officer show up at your door. They could just drive down the street saying it over a thing. It's going to happen somewhere. We don't know for sure. Probably in several places, because they've been doing that for a couple of years now. This one I think is going to be a lot more violent unless, we get more hold on this war than what we have right now. So anyways, all we can do is just try and be safe. Just remember that, it doesn't matter any of the stuff that happens. It's all an illusion. You are an eternal being. You are powerful. If they shoot you out of this body, you can find another one. You just get a new body. It won't matter. You can stay as a soul around your family. You don't just go off into some other place. You do whatever you want. You stay there and help them from the other side. And, all that stuff is real. So just don't, I think that they have us so entrapped in this fear of death, that they've controlled so much by the fear of death. Just remember, there is no death. There's no death. Just because, Kelly, this body dies, that doesn't mean Kelly dies. And I know this, I've told you before, I've come out of my body. You are exactly the same You are exactly the same, in or out of your body. This is me, who, I'm using this face and these hands to express and talk. But if I wasn't, and it was just my essence sitting here, I'd be the exact same. Be this spazzy, ridiculous person. So, anyways, that's just me. And just keep that in mind, because there's just so much about having us so trapped in fear that it's the end. It's your only life. And if you didn't say the right words or whatever, if you didn't say, what's the words? There's magic words. Jesus is my savior, maybe. Oh, something like that. There's these magic words that supposedly all you gotta, doesn't matter if you're a mass murderer, serial killer, as long as you say those 3 words before you die, you get to go sit up there and scrub Jesus or God's feet for eternity and sing at him. That is what our goals are for life. No, just remember, you're much more than what you've ever been told. You're a fascinating creature. Love yourself, love everybody else, and just try and stay positive. That's all we can do, and work on ourselves, and just keep trusting that we're going in that direction. They can't stop cosmic stuff. There's cosmic cycles, can't be stopped. So anyways, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.